now because that's what I got on cap. But I be like, blessed is the man that will not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But the delight is in the law of the Lord. And in this law does he meditate day and night, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that brings forth his fruit from his seed in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the shaft that the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. You feel me? So these niggas is ungodly, my nigga. Now I mean, they got us in here over motherfucking laws and shit that was created to basically target the blacks, the Hispanics in the inner city, the poor people. We in here because we being punished for being poor because y'all not running around, y'all not running down on niggas, stopping and frisking and searching niggas in other communities. Y'all just doing that in this community. So in the Bible, when the psalm is saying, for the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. My nigga, listen, I'm the righteous. You feel me? So I'm like this in the courtrooms. I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas talking about. I'm walking about this bitch. You feel what I'm saying? Brick and still can't hold gusto. You know what I mean? And I walk up out of there, my nigga, because I know who I be. You feel what I'm saying? I know who I be, and I know niggas have no jurisdiction over me, my nigga. You feel me? Niggas have no jurisdiction over me, my nigga. Science of Haram Abiff, he was stolen from the east and brought to the west. And he was dead. Solomon had to pull him up out the grave with the master mason's paw. You feel me? That's how heavy that dead body was, nigga. That's how heavy the dead body of black. Alright, I ain't gonna get you crazy. I don't want y'all niggas. Illuminati, don't kill me, bro. You heard? I'm dropping shit that's public knowledge, my nigga. Don't murder me, Illuminati. You know what I mean? If I start going to these scientists, well, Haram Abiff, that sucks, my nigga. We was killed in the east and brought over to the west, my nigga. Where we had to be pulled out the grave of mental death and ignorance, you hear me? But then there's an even deeper science, my nigga. It's an even deeper science. See, these sciences is threefold, my nigga. You heard? But for now, let's just say brick and steel can't hold gusto. You heard? So you gotta be mentally strong out here to make it, nigga. When I say that I'm G-O-D, I ain't just running my mouth. You heard? Big Dice in the building. What's really good? The legendary Big Dice is in the building. Sharon Young, that's the nigga Big Dice. What's really good, my bro? Mason Classified, my nigga Strong Bomb. What's really good, bro? E-Time, what up? Greg Johnson, nah, bro. I ain't never Candace from Uptown, man. I grew up in Brownsville, Europe. I grew up in dirty ass Brownsville, nigga. Goat Lady was really good. I see you in the building. A few years ahead was popping. I Meg Long was really. Hotel was popular with my bro. Yeah, my nigga. That Kabbalah serious though. That's dealing with the numerology of the world. Cause this whole shit is mathematics, my nigga. This whole shit is mathematics. Everything is mathematics, my nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Everything is mathematics, I mean. So if you figure out the mathematical, if you figure out the math behind the Torah, the math behind the Bible, then you figure out life. You feel what I'm saying? When you figure out the math behind astrology, it's not mysticism to you, my nigga. It's mathematics. You feel what I'm saying? Astrology ain't nothing but mathematics, my nigga. Stars are placed in certain places throughout the galaxy in a mathematical pattern, and it affects life on the planet Earth. You feel what I'm saying? Shit is all mathematics, bro. flaxseed oil. I mean, but we on some different shit with this guard body shit over here. We on some different shit, my nigga. Like, we dealing with the 12 psychological aspects of the human consciousness, you feel me? We dealing with the 12 disciples. That's the science behind the 12 disciples. We talking about the 12 disciplines, you heard? These is the science. All the sciences is on my albums. Like, we spoke about all these sciences on my album. But, I mean, the 12 disciples, we dealing with the 12 disciplines of the human mind, the 12 faculties of the human mind. You feel what I'm saying? And you must keep those disciples in order to be Christ-like. If you can't keep them 12 disciples in order, you can't be Christ-like, my nigga. So you got 12 different faculties in your mind that you must keep disciplined and in order to reach a Christ-like state. Because Christ wasn't nothing more than a man that reached enlightenment, bro, and figured out that he was God. He said that in the Bible 100 times, you know what I mean? He said, have I not said that ye are gods? Not just me. He said, have I not said that ye are gods, my nigga? You heard? And that's not the only, I mean, he done said it 100 times, man. Know what I mean? But don't you know that the body, I forgot the exact quote, but don't you know that the body is the temple of God and God dwelleth within? You heard? Then we ain't gonna start talking about the sciences of Jacob, Yaqub. We ain't gonna talk about the history of Yaqub that's right there in the Bible in the face. But Jacob and Yaqub is the same person. You heard? We ain't gonna talk about the mathematics and life of Jacob that's super deep. Now I mean, in the book of genes and genetics, Genesis, you heard? That's what we talking about in Genesis. We talking about genetics, my nigga. We ain't talking about no cows and sheep. We talking about the human body and the genetics of the human body, my nigga. You feel me? And the Exodus, we dealing with higher sciences, my nigga. The Exodus, like, well, listen, my nigga, we exited the spirit world and came into the physical world. Now I mean, when we was clothed, Adam and Eve was clothed and sent out of the Garden of Eden. Nigga, them clothes is the flesh and bone, nigga. Because we spiritual beings. We ain't no fucking flesh and bone. We spiritual beings. So they clothed us and ran us out of the Garden of Eden, my bro. We dealing with the sciences. We dealing with the sciences of becoming physical beings on the planet Earth. Know what I mean? Because we be fools to believe that we didn't exist before the planet Earth. Everything is everything. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. There is no time. There's only time on the planet Earth. You understand what I'm saying? But in the universe, everything is everything. But like I said, Illuminati, don't kill me, my nigga. You heard? This is stuff that you can read and find out in the library. I found all this shit out in the library. So don't murder me acting like I'm revealing secrets, Illuminati. You heard? Because I know y'all niggas be hearing everything. Somewhere it's an alien on an Illuminati spaceship right now like this. He's talking about the sciences. Know what I mean? But now, even the Illuminati is deep, my nigga. Word is bomb. Even the Illuminati is deep. The science, the illuminated one. At one time, it was against the law to study science in the church. If you dealt with science, you'd be executed for dealing with science in the church. So the Illuminati was those that were caught up in the church, but they knew and understood that it was something deeper. That it was something deeper out there than just, yo, God sat on the throne and made the earth in 7 days. Like, they knew that it was some science out there. They wanted to study science, but science was outlawed in the church. You'd be put to death for fucking with science. So they created a secret society within the church called the Illuminati, the Masons. The whole Masonic church was just those that were seeking higher knowledge, but they weren't allowed to seek higher knowledge. They would be put to death or jailed for seeking higher knowledge. So they had to create a secret society to learn. You feel what I'm saying? So even these secret societies, they got their origin in some deep shit. Like, niggas wanted to know the sciences of life. They ain't want to just be told, yo, Jesus sat on the joint and then he sat on the throne and hit a magic wand and then California appeared. They ain't want that, son. They wanted to know the real sciences of how this earth came about and how we came here. But the real sciences was going against the teachings of the church. So these niggas was forced to create a secret society for the illuminated ones, the Illuminati. You feel me? So, you know, a lot of this shit been evil-fied and devil-fied throughout history, but if you really find the sciences behind these secret societies, they all were oppressed people trying to not be oppressed. You feel me? Whatever they turned into nowadays, I don't know because I'm not involved. But what I'm saying is, they all were people that were being oppressed and tried to, you know, reach a higher science. You feel me? But yeah. So, like I said, Illuminati, bro. Don't you know what I mean? Let me live, my nigga. But it's a higher science in life, bro. We gotta evolve as human beings. We gotta evolve to the next stage, my nigga. Nobody said evolution stopped. We still evolving. That's a fact, my nigga. Some of the knowledge that's out there, it's not really made for public knowledge because the knowledge is too powerful and in the wrong hands. If it ends up in the wrong hands, it could be deadly. The science behind Egypt. Egypt, at one time, you know, Egypt, the Ethiopians, they created Egypt for the purpose of education. They said, yo, we're gonna make a city, it's gonna just be for niggas that's on that high science shit, you heard? It's like you say, yo, we're gonna make a city just for the gods and the herbs, you heard? Everybody in there on some deep shit, let's go. You heard? Egypt didn't exist. Ethiopians made Egypt. They went, they migrated and found a place that was barren and they created a city. And that city was just a school. It was like a college. You feel what I'm saying? But what happened is, motherfuckers started getting their hands on that power and that knowledge, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, my nigga. You hear me? Niggas started going to war for that power. Niggas started having real powers. Like, if you do the science behind the Egyptians, you know what I mean? And the shit that niggas started having real powers, my nigga. You heard? That's when it got crazy, like. They can start being able to do shit like with their mind and shit. This is why they can't explain how the pyramids was built, my nigga. They can't tell you how the Sphinx, the pyramids, they can't tell you how the motherfucking monstrosities got there. They can't tell you, my nigga, because niggas was dealing with a whole higher science. Niggas was dealing with a higher level of mentality. Niggas was tapped into something that we ain't tapped into. You heard? Niggas was no. When you go into the pyramids, them niggas had the whole solar system. The shit that we know is the solar system right now, they had the whole solar system in the pyramids. They ain't had no telescopes and none of that, my nigga. How the fuck they knew about Neptune and shit that was millions of years away? How did they know about these places, bro? Because they was intergalactically traveling through the powers of the mind. You feel what I'm saying? That's the thing niggas don't know. See, they think we gotta travel through space in a spaceship, but really, you are space. You understand what I'm saying? So when you tap into that higher self, you can travel throughout the universe and time. You just gotta know how to tap in, my nigga. And if you watch the movie Contact with Jodie Foster, they explain this intergalactic travel that the Egyptians had mastered. You feel what I'm saying? The movie Contact, where she found the blueprints to a motherfucking spaceship that was allegedly supposedly gonna take her to the universe, to space. And she actually did get to space, but she never left the Earth. And niggas started calling her a fraud. Like, oh, you a fraud. You said you went to space, this and that, this and that. She did actually go to space, but she just went to space through the powers of the mind. You understand? And she traveled throughout the galaxy through the powers of the mind. And her body never left the Earth. So everybody started calling her a fraud. Like, yo, you a fraud. And she like, nah, I met with the aliens and all of that. Like, she met with the aliens and all of that, my nigga. But it was intergalactical space travel. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't no get in a space shuttle and travel around. So if you ain't never see that movie Contact with Jodie Foster, go watch that shit, my nigga. That shit deep. And the movie ain't get so much great reviews because niggas ain't understand it. He was like, that shit was trash, son. She ain't even go to space. Yo, son, that shit was deep, son. That shit was heavily deep. But yeah, my niggas, I ain't gonna keep preaching to y'all niggas, but I be in a preachy mood sometimes. When I turn about 65, I'm gonna start a church. Yep. But yeah, my nigga. So, I don't really have too much of an opinion on gangs and shit. 'Cause I know, understand what gangs be about, man. A lot of niggas that's involved in gangs, a lot of niggas, they ain't never had no families, they ain't never had no loved ones. You know what I mean? Niggas had parents on drugs, niggas was raised in houses where, people ain't really, they loved them, but they ain't loved them the way a parent would love them, you feel me? And niggas go into that gang life, my nigga, searching for some type of family, you feel me? So I'm not mad at niggas that came into the gang life shit because they was searching for some type of family. But then you got others that come into that shit for other reasons, you know what I mean? But, I know a lot of niggas that's in gangs, and I don't knock them niggas for what they into. You could be in a gang or you could have a history with that shit, but, you got mature, you know how to how to distance yourself from the stupid shit. Now, if you know how to distance yourself from the stupid shit, then, I respect you. But if you a grown ass man and you all up in a bunch of dumb shit that's gonna send you to jail, you're not so smart. And if you're not that smart, you don't care about your own freedom. You can't possibly care about my freedom. You understand what I'm saying? So if a nigga is a hot box nigga, I don't fuck with him. You could be found with anything, but if you know how to move and you move like a smart nigga, you move like a smart nigga. I mean, cause I got niggas I fuck with from all type of motherfucking gangs, but they know not to involve me with the nonsense. You feel me? So it is what it is, man. I mean, if you smart, if you get older, you grow out certain shit, my nigga. I mean, and then if you know the law, how the law functions, you get out of shit before it's too late. Cause the niggas will roof you like a black racket ball, not the blue handballs. Remember the small little black racket balls, them heavy little black balls. Niggas will roof you with like one of them shits, nigga. And give your shit 300 years, nigga. Fuck around with that shit.